The day before training camp officially kicks off always carries this weird kind of buzz. Like, you're supposed to feel the electricity crackling around you, right? Like everything's about to change, and there's a whole new chapter just waiting to unfold. But here's the thing this year, I'm not really getting that from a lot of fans. Not yet, anyway, and honestly, that's interesting. Because from where I'm standing, there's something brewing here. Something bigger than we've seen in a long time, and it all starts tomorrow. So let me walk you through what's coming, and maybe, just maybe, it'll start to feel as real to you as it's starting to feel to me. Tomorrow morning, reporters like myself will be allowed onto the St. Vincent College campus around 9. Players are expected to begin trickling in an hour or so later, and once they start arriving, it's non-stop motion. We're going to get our first interviews with the new faces. Some returning veterans breaking their silence on off-season headlines, and of course, that all-important run test in the afternoon. After that, Coach Mike Tomlin will take the podium for his first formal press conference of the new season. That alone is enough to generate headlines. But it's what surrounds all of that, the energy, the personalities, the expectations that make this so intriguing. Now, let's be honest here. The first real day of practice doesn't happen until Thursday. So technically tomorrow is more like the warm-up lap, but what a lap it's going to be. Think about this, you're going to have guys like TJ Watt speaking publicly for the first time in months, and yes, you better believe he's going to get asked about his contract situation. You'll have a handful of big-name newcomers arriving, including guys who, in other markets, would have had red carpets rolled out for them. And yeah, we might even see a little bit of dorm drama. That stuff might seem trivial, but fans eat it up, and for good reason. It's the first chance we get to see these personalities together, to watch the team identity begin to form. What's wild is that in probably 31 out of 32 NFL cities, fans would be losing their minds over this roster. I mean, really, just based on names alone, it would be chaos. Big, bold headlines, over-the-top optimism, hot takes flying left and right, and here, it still feels like there's this cautious distance, like people are afraid to get hurt again. And honestly, I get that. The past few years haven't exactly inspired undying confidence. The playoff drought, the frustration, the questions around leadership, all of that builds up and weighs on the collective mood of a fan base. You start thinking, why should I care this year? Why should I believe it'll be different? But still, I look at this roster and I can't help but feel like something is different. You bring in someone like DK Metcalf, and that move alone would have set off a frenzy in most cities. In fact, if that had been the only move the team made in the offseason, it still would have dominated the conversation for weeks. But that ended up being just the beginning. After Metcalf came Rodgers, then Jalen Ramsey, then Jonnu Smith, then a rookie class that, on paper, looks like it could actually produce meaningful contributions right away. That's not just a splash, that's a tidal wave of talent coming in all at once. So here's what I'm really wondering today, and I mean this genuinely, not as some rhetorical trick to make a point. Are you excited? Like, actually excited? The kind of excitement that makes you count the days until kickoff and refresh the training camp schedule just to see when the pads go on. Because if you're not feeling that, I want to know why not. To challenge you, not to convince you. I just want to understand it. Maybe it's the baggage of recent years. Maybe it's a belief that until this team actually wins something meaningful like a playoff game, for starters, there's no point getting emotionally invested. Maybe you think Mike Tomlin is part of the problem. Maybe you think the front office has mishandled the quarterback situation year after year. Or maybe, and this would honestly be great to hear, you actually are excited, and you're just waiting for the right moment to unleash it, whatever it is. I think it's important to say it, because if that weight from the past is still hanging over the present, then it's going to shape how we view everything in the weeks ahead. It'll color how we react to each practice, each preseason game, each media quote. It's going to be the lens through which we view the entire season. And if that's the case, if your excitement's been dulled by frustration, then you're not alone. I feel it too, in moments. I think a lot of us do. Because let's be honest, how many times have we gone into a season with high hopes only to end it with more questions than answers? Let's not forget, this team hasn't won a playoff game since the Kansas City debacle. And even that game only looked competitive because the kicker scored all the points. That's not exactly a recent history that inspires confidence. And when the postseason does come around, if it comes around, there's always that nagging feeling that no matter how much talent is on the field, coaching mismatches and defensive collapses will come back to haunt them. It's not paranoia. it's just what the evidence has shown us. Whether it's Tomlin or Terrell Austin or whoever else you want to point fingers at, the results have been what they've been. So, yeah, it's totally fair to be cautious. It's fair to want to see the progress before you feel it, but at the same time, training camp offers something different. It's not about the ghosts of January's past. It's about seeing this team, this version of the Steelers, come together. For the first time, it's about the rookies trying to prove they belong, the veterans setting the tone, the coaching staff laying down the blueprint for what this season could become. And if these new guys, these big names, these high-profile acquisitions can walk into that environment and bring a different kind of energy, that matters. It really does. Because they weren't here for all those playoff collapses. They weren't the ones giving up 30 or 40 points in the first half. They didn't fumble away winnable games or get outcoached in the biggest moments. They're coming in fresh. And if they carry themselves like they believe this team can turn a corner, that kind of belief is contagious. You start to build something new, not just with talent, but with attitude, with accountability, with a new kind of identity. And you can bet that when Mike Tomlin steps in front of the mic tomorrow, he's going to start throwing around one of his favorite words, journey. He's going to talk about the path ahead, the steps they have to take together, and how every team is unique and has its own story to tell. He'll be asked about the comparisons to past teams, and he'll push back the way he always does, because, to him, this isn't 2021 or 2022 or even 2023, it's the beginning of something else. And whether or not you believe that, it's worth watching how this group responds. I've got a feeling, and I don't say this lightly, that once we see this team on the field, once the clips start circulating of Metcalf making crazy grabs, or Ramsey locking guys down in coverage, a lot of that hesitation will start to melt away. And by the time the first preseason game rolls around, the conversation might shift entirely. Suddenly people will forget how skeptical they were on this random Tuesday in late July. Because that's how fast football moves. One highlight, one standout moment in camp, and the pendulum swings hard the other way. But until that happens, I get the hesitation. I really do, and if you're feeling it, if you're just not ready to buy in yet, that's completely valid. Just know that something real is starting tomorrow, and it's going to be loud, it's going to be competitive, and it's going to tell us a lot about what this team is made of. Whether you're all in or sitting on the fence, this camp could end up being the moment where everything changes, or at the very least, where hope starts to creep back in. Let's see what happens. Now let's talk about one of the names that keeps popping up lately, and I mean constantly, whether it's in fan comments, podcasts, or random conversations online. Roman Wilson. You knew his name would come up eventually, right? It's like the second someone mentions wide receivers, his name gets tossed into the mix with this mix of curiosity and hope. Like maybe he's the hidden gem who's going to crack this lineup wide open. But let's take a breath here and look at the actual situation. Let's break down what's really going on with the wide receiver room, because there's some important context that I think a lot of people are missing, or at least glossing over. We already know that DK Metcalf is the undisputed WR1. That was never in question. The guy has the resume, the physical tools, the track record of production. He's the alpha in the room. He's the kind of presence that immediately demands defensive attention. And honestly, that's a luxury the Steelers haven't had in years. He gives you spacing. He gives you matchup nightmares. And he's going to open up so much underneath for everyone else. That part of the puzzle is set. No debate there. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around Pittsburgh as the NFL world buzzes with speculation that Tyreek Hill might be on the verge of joining the Steelers, a move that would undoubtedly go down as the biggest signing in franchise history. Known for his electrifying speed and game-changing plays, Hill's potential arrival has fans and analysts alike imagining the seismic shift this could bring to the Steelers' offensive arsenal. Tyreek Hill, often dubbed Cheetah for his blazing pace, has established himself as one of the most dynamic wide receivers in the league. His ability to stretch the field and create explosive plays in critical moments has made him a coveted asset for Pittsburgh, a city steeped in football tradition but currently seeking that extra edge to reclaim its dominance. Acquiring Hill would signal a bold statement. The Steelers fan base, hungry for a resurgence, is already buzzing with the possibilities that his presence could ignite. While no official announcement has been made, rumors have been persistent Sources close to the team suggest that talks might be underway, with Hill's skill set fitting perfectly into the Steelers' offensive scheme. Imagine the combination of Ben Roethlisberger's leadership or his potential successors partnering, with a receiver capable of turning any catch into a highlight reel moment. The chemistry could redefine Pittsburgh's offensive identity. Hill's impact would go beyond just his numbers on the stat sheet. His speed forces defenses to account for him on every snap, opening opportunities for other players. The Steelers' coaching staff could leverage this to create more complex and dangerous plays, making the offense less predictable and more explosive. Given Pittsburgh's historical emphasis on physicality and smart play calling, Hill's unique talents could usher in a new era blending speed with grit. This potential signing also carries significant implications for the Steelers' standing in the highly competitive AFC North. With formidable rivals like the Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals consistently improving, adding a weapon like Hill could be the difference maker in critical divisional matchups and playoff aspiration. The mere possibility of Hill suiting up in black and gold has already injected fresh excitement into the fan base and local sports media. Of course, hurdles remain. Salary cap considerations, contract negotiations, and team dynamics all play a role in whether this rumor materializes. Yet, the mere chatter of such a high-profile acquisition has sparked dreams of an offensive renaissance in Pittsburgh. If the Steelers manage to secure Hill, it would mark a historic moment, potentially reshaping the franchise's trajectory for years to come. As the offseason unfolds, all eyes will be on Pittsburgh, watching for signs that this rumor might become reality. Could Tyreek Hill's blazing speed light up Heinz Field and restore the Steelers to their former glory? For now, it remains tantalizing speculation, but one that has captured the imagination of the football world. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.